Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very exciting guest for us here today to talk about not necessarily in the sports realm, but anybody who knows YSN knows that our background is based in East Palestine, Ohio. And over the last year and a half or so, there has been some people that have walked in and out of the lives of those in East Palestine. But one guy that has stood by all of the residents and naturally tried to help out in any way he could, possibly with the water or support or just walking and talking people through this scenario and what they're really going through is our next guest, a guy that is profoundly known across the country for being a guy that supports, especially with his newest endeavor, Sentry H2O. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring in one of my dear friends now here to the program and certainly to the company and to me personally. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Mcilveen. Nelson, welcome aboard, man. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, it's nice to be with you, DJ. It's an honor to talk to the folks in the area that will be in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, we're excited, and that's the one thing that we want to start off with. In it's October 26th. Yourself, John Wark, and so many others have really kind of planted the seed of you want to help people in East Palestine. You want to make sure that we're not forgotten, and we thank you for that. But with you guys, you're coming like on ground. You're going to be sitting here, and you, my friend, are giving away 2,000 of your newest product, one of your under the sink systems. Can you tell us kind of what got you started on that?
Well, the product was developed. The product was developed. Oh gosh, about 4 years, 5 years ago. And what happened was, as you get older, things start happening. You go to your doctor, and your doctor says, "Hey, your PSA levels are starting to rise." So you ignore them, and then you go back a little bit later, and they tell you, "Hey, you're up to like 4.0, and from 1.6." So I went to a specialist, talked to the specialist. He goes, "Hey, we got to slice and dice, how they want to do whatever they do in that world." And I said, "No." And I went home and developed a product that puts oxygen into your body at a 68 parts per million. It's real oxygen. You can weigh the water against your city water and be a totally different animal. And then I changed the pH to 9.0 plus, which puts alkaline water in your body, which destroys acid, which creates cancer. And then we gave magnesium, calcium. But on top of that, we started developing a product that would do other things. And one of the problems that you have in the world right now is you got a lot of pharmaceuticals in the water. We remove all the vaccines, all the PFAs, the plastic, and we take out. Then we got this other problem out there called fluoride. Fluoride is a product that will create cancer, havoc in your body, basically. Thyroid cancer is one of the outcomes of fluoride, and basically havoc, right? So we remove that also. But here's the part that's very interesting. I talked to my scientists, and they say, yeah, the biggest problem we're seeing in America right now, and my scientists are out of Germany, the biggest problem we have in America right now is the fact that you guys are putting white PVC pipes in on your homes. PEX, you've heard the word PEX, right?
PEX pipe, yep.
Everybody wants to use PEX these days. And what happens when you have plastic, the plastic leaches off into your drinking water. Now, not as bad as East Palestine situation, okay? So this was a great test for us. So what happened was they sent me over this special carbon, we call it red carbon, and we built up a system. Actually, I built up about 210 of them, and we shipped those in the same day President Trump was in town, and we gave away 210 systems. And in the process, we gave these away. Then what we did was, not knowing what we don't know, you think you're doing the right thing. You think you got it all covered. And I never dabbled in this world before. Now, give me a little backstory on all this. The reason why we got involved was I'm an injection molder by trade. When you get on a Boeing airplane, when you got an Airbus, Homeland Security, any of these products that they're using are made out of plastic. I'm the guy that's making them, okay? So I run vinyl PVC in my factory. And PVC does not burn. Never has burned. We use it for smoke detectors because it doesn't burn. But what it does do is when it gets hot enough, it turns into a gas. And that's called mustard gas. And if you recall, if you read your history books, World War I, they outlawed it. A year and 8 months ago, they recreated it in East Palestine. So you see those flames going up. So for them to burn PVC, you got to give it. You have to have an igniter. You have to put something in it to make it burn. So when we seen that, we say, hey, we got to help these folks out. This isn't right. So we went in, we gave a product away, and then we had out of Akron, Ohio, we had the EPA go back in and test our water against the water that they were supposedly fixing for you guys. And the tests are on the website. EPA laboratory did chain of custody. Okay, so they did the chain of custody, and then they did the tests. And by doing chain of custody, when you use vinyl chloride, which I didn't know, if you just take a glass of vinyl chloride, within a few minutes, it'll dissipate into the air. It rises to the top, and it goes off. So we had to do it in a proper way where they put something in there and they maintained the vinyl chloride in the water and all that. Went back to Akron. Akron then turned around, the EPA lab turned around and tested it. And we were sitting at 0 when we were done. The products that came from the EPA were not at 0. If you look at the test, you'll see the numbers. They're a wee bit higher. And I don't know about you, but because someone says it is, and this number is okay, I'm kind of of the impression 0 is okay, not anything more. So that's why we went in. That's what we did with a simple product. So what's happening is we've been working with some folks in the Trump campaign, let's say, and we're going to come back and we're going to give away a unit to everyone in East Palestine that wants one. So what we're going to need folks to do is bring a copy of the water bill so we know they live in East Palestine. And when you do that, you'll be given a free, no charge unit. And that unit will take you about 15 minutes to install. You don't have to drill holes. You don't have to do anything in your sink. It's not an RO system. Okay? An RO system is dead water. This is not dead water. This is living water. This water is alive. I will give you an example. When you give this water to a dog, the dog will drink it till it's gone. The dog loves it. They can smell what's in the water. Okay. My wife has a dog rescue, and we have dogs that are living 5 years plus. Yet they, I mean, you don't get big dogs living 16 years old. Little dogs hitting 20. And we see this all the time now because these dogs have been on it for a while. But we get a lot of dogs that come into the rescue and they never leave because nobody wants them, right? And so they get a nice life and off they go. And that's how they live their life, and they're getting the best of the best. Now, if you have a fish tank, you'll see your fish double in size. I buy angel fish at a quarter, and they're 2 inches within 2 weeks after we put them into the water. So those are the things we see from this water. It's a whole different animal. And we're getting all kinds of testimonials from folks around the country where different ailments like cancer, psoriasis of the skin, breast cancer, brain cancer, metastasized cancer, it's been kept at bay. Now, is it the water? 70% of your body's water, right? If 70% of your body is you're putting poison into it, I don't know. Maybe it's not a good thing. So we believe that the product that we're giving you folks, because of the testing behind it, is a product that's going to turn around and possibly help some people out. At least you're going to be drinking a product that is safe. It's not contaminated. Your water won't be contaminated. Like I said, we've done, and I'm assuming and I'm hoping that over this time of a year and 8 months, that the water has gotten better, over time, water moves on, things get cleaned out, it gets, broken down because of rains and so forth. I'm assuming that's the possibility. So now what you're going to get is something that may be a high-end product that you don't have to worry about drinking any longer. That's where we're kind of at this point.
It's interesting because you and I talked before, and you said the concern, yes, is drinking water, but you said that the water that we shower in, from that scenario is also taking its toll on us, and you have a whole shower system and a whole house system that people can look at, if they like what they're getting here in East Palestine, and not just people in East Palestine, because as we know, the lawsuit stretches out over many, many counties. here in Ohio and Pennsylvania. So for you, what's the importance of making sure that your entire house is protected when it comes to water?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so first of all, the unit that we put underneath is a POV. It goes underneath your sink. Okay, that's where you take your vegetables from. That's where you'll hook up to your refrigerator. That's where you get your drinking water in the moment, your ice cubes and all that. And the other thing is when you see our ice cubes, they're totally hazy. That means they're all minerals. Okay, so you're getting magnesium and calcium at a very high rate. That's one of the things that you need in your body to be stable. But going back to DJ's point, when you go into your home has to be healthy also. And what I mean by that is when you bring water into your house, it has large amounts of toxins, it has large amounts of scale in it. All these things are going through your pipes. Pipes are porous. The scale sticks, the toxins stick. So you know how we have hot water tanks? I'm assuming most folks in your area probably have the conventional hot water tank. But now if you have a on-demand, you have to have our product or something similar because the scale will instantly build up in an on-demand hot water tank because we work with Reem and Renette's about these problems, okay? So look at it this way. So your hot water tank's full of scale. If you put our product in your home, the scale will be removed out of your hot water tank in approximately 6 months. And what I mean by that is the oxygen that we create with our product will scrub the scale out of your hot water tank. It'll scrub your pipes. It'll scrub your dishwasher. You won't have any water spots on your dishes when you use our product. Your washing machine will get the mold and fungus out of it. It'll clean that whole scenario up. You won't have that. A lot of people say they get like a smell out of their washing machine these days because of the soaps they're using. It scrubs all that. The oxygen bubbles scrub everything. Shower, you won't have any white buildup in your shower. You'll have powder because we don't remove the scale. We just break it down to a usable form. You can wipe it off with a wet rag. A lot of times, immediately after you put our system in for about a week or so, you got to clean out your aerators because of the scales breaking off in the pipes. So now your house becomes very, very healthy. Every water faucet in your home is drinkable. But you want the minerals, you want the vinyl chloride taken out of the water, and you want the PFAs taken out of the water. You got to use the POV because the problem is, now remember this is the most important thing that I'm going to tell you out of everything I tell you. I used to build RO systems for the water companies. That's why I got into my business 24 years ago. And RO systems kill your water. So now you're drinking a liquid. You're not drinking anything that has any value to it. All right. So that was the way people thought you cleaned water 20 years ago. The way we clean water now is time and density of carbon. And we only use the best carbon built in the world, and it's all catalytic. It's not conventional carbon because of the ammonia they're putting in the water now. When they drop ammonia in the water to kill parasites with chlorine, regular carbon dies within a period of time. We use catalytic, which is an activated carbon, very expensive carbon. So remember what I just told you, time and density. So time is how long it takes the water to run over the carbon, and then density. So the carbon that we use to remove pharmaceutical VOCs, that carbon is at 2,800 grains of density with magnesium infused into it. The carbon that you're using, if you have an RO system, is at 600 to 800 grains of density. You see the difference? Mm-hmm. Totally different animal. And that's why you have to put it in a POV. We can't put it in a large tank because of the density of that carbon. I could shut your water off in your house if we use this in a tank. So we have to kind of build things around this, what we have available to us, right? And if you have old pipes and all that, your water pressure is probably a lot lower than it was, normally, right? So what I'm looking at is, so that's kind of where we're at with the product. And the plastics that we use, those clear housings, the reason we use those clear housings is because we've had everything tested where we do extraction tests, make sure there's no PFAs coming out, there's no poisons coming out of the plastic. And the plastic that we use is a copolyester plastic, which is, when it comes to me, that plastic is white. I turn it crystal clear. Eastman Chemical doesn't know how we do it. So those are the things we do because we know that plastic is so pure. And that's why we use the plastic. And we spend the extra time, energy, and money to create that plastic. I could go out and put cheap plastic in there like everybody else does. That opaque plastic you see, that's polypropylene, okay? It skins over so the folks say it's okay. Well, we don't think it's good enough for what we do. So that's where we're at with the product. So we're trying to build a product that I would use, my family would use, my friends would use. And, this is the same product that we're giving the folks away because we feel that, we want to give you the best. And that's, we're one of, when you work in the world of aerospace, every time a plane hiccups, we hold our breath. Right? So when you work in that world, every time I create product for Rockwell Collins or Airbus or Boeing, we have to create a book of traceability. So that's how we run our operations. We create a book of traceability on everything we do, so that we know what we know. We just don't make stuff, throw it in a box and send it out. That's not who we are. And we build everything but the carbon and the other minerals that go into this product, which come from places like Siberia, Germany. Everything other than that is built in America.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's phenomenal that you build everything here in America. You're proud of the American spirit. You're a guy who, as far as I've known, you see a need, you fill the need, and obviously people in East Palestine have been kind of they've been kind of turned away, from a standpoint and told everything that's okay, and that's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for guys like John Rourke and the people that we're bringing in on October 26th here at Athletics in Columbiana. People will be able to sign up right at Athletics, and will be given the first 500. As a matter of fact, will be given a system right there on the spot, as long as they bring in their water bill. Correct?
Right. And the reason we're only bringing in 500 in the moment, guys, is because we don't know what we really need. Right. So we've already brought 200 in. So now we're sitting at 700 systems. Okay. There's 1,760 homes in East Palestine, I believe. So how many of those folks will want a system? How many folks won't want a system? I don't need to send product. There's a cost of sending product from Arizona to Ohio.
Sure.
And on top of that, you have a cost of sending it back if people don't want it. So where we're at is the first 500 get them. And then what we'll do is we'll take a list, and the next day we'll send in whatever we need to send in. It's not about not wanting to have them there. This is about the logistics of that is kind of, I'm asking someone else to hold my product on their floor. It's not a very comfortable place when it comes to that kind of a scenario. So what we want to do is do the right thing for everyone. I don't want to overburden the person that we're working with. We want to do this in a manner where everybody's comfortable with it. But you don't have to worry about it. We're already committed. So we've already done this. Let me put it this way. We went out and bought enough raw goods and set that aside to create 2,000 systems. So all that has already been in play. All that's completed. Now it's just a matter of getting them to the people. And I'll tell you, we're hearing the stories of East Palestine, how people are getting affected by whatever they want to call it, how they're getting affected by it through health. Okay. And that's it's very, very sad place to be. And I'll tell you this, we had a president came in and gave away water. Okay. When nobody else really cared, he gave away water. And we were there the same day. And he gave away the water, and he did make a promise that they call promises made, promises kept. And this is him keeping his promise. So we're here trying to basically support his initiative. And now we're in the last moments of an election. For him to be out boots on the ground is not the easiest thing for him to do. And as we well know, he's been targeted for situations that are not I wouldn't want to be in. Okay. Sure. So we're doing what he can't do right now. And I hope and I pray that everybody in East Palestine, this will be a blessing and a help to them. That's all we're asking at this point. That use the water. And I want to tell you something, guys. Remember when you drank water when you were a kid? How good it was? That's the way this water tastes. It tastes just like that. It tastes clean. It tastes refreshing. It's uniquely different. And the people that we work with in the world that created the mechanics behind this, we took all of their resins, let's call them resins, and we created this product line from that. And then we had it all tested. So you go to the website, Sentry H2O.com, and you want to look up the tests, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're not kind of like saying, it does this, that, and the next thing, and then they're like, it does nothing, right? So we're not asking you to trust us. We're not asking you to believe everything I'm saying. I'm asking you to go to the website, read the data, and I would recommend this. Okay, so there's two things going on here. We're going to give you a system. You're going to put it underneath your sink. You got a problem, and you got a bigger problem than that, because every time you take a shower, your body absorbs about a pint of water. So you're absorbing a pint of what kind of water? This is, I have no idea. I mean, what kind of water are you really absorbing? So there's a couple ways to address that. One, you have a whole house system, and whole house system will last for between 5 and 10 years. You don't touch it. You don't add salt to it. You don't do anything. Every so many hours, it cleans itself. Once you put this thing in, I put mine in 8 years ago. I put it in. I don't even know where it's at anymore. My wife has kind of taken over that part of the garage, and it's kind of buried, right? So all I'm telling you is, you put this thing in. That's one thing. Now there's a cost to that, and that cost may be a cost that you're not, in a position to absorb.
Mhm.
So we have another product. It's called a shower filter, and it's the real deal. I mean, this isn't like that thing that they put a shower head on. You know what that's for? To take out chlorine, period. No more. Makes the water smell good. It'll taste good if you drink it from the shower head, and it will take out the chlorine. So now you think you got something great going on. What we do is we give you, with the shower head, it's catalytic carbon filter, and that's replaceable. And it's good for 3,300 gallons, which is about a year's worth of showers, okay? And then we add media in there we call CT resin. And the CT resin then creates oxygen. So now you're showering in oxygenated, clean, poison-free water.
Wow.
That's what you're showering in. Okay, guys. So what I'm saying is, you'll have soft skin. Women, you're going to love it. Your skin will get soft. Your hair won't be brittle. Women like that too. Oh, and by the way, and then if you do take in a pint of water, which they say you do, it'll be oxygenated water you're taking into your system, which is really a nice. Let me put it this way: our shower filters are selling like crazy now, and they're reasonably priced, and you can put them on in a minute. You take the shower head off, you screw it onto the pipe, you screw the shower head back on, you're good to go. So that's one of the areas that we kind of stepped into. And what we did was, we didn't want to do. Everybody else has these fancy shower heads you put on. They look good. They do nothing. They don't do anything. We're like, what good is that? I mean, if you're going to try and help folks, you definitely want to help them in a manner where it's going to do some good. So that's one of the areas that we really get into. Now, here's something I didn't tell you. So when you drink, this is how important water is, guys. When you drink dead water, bottled water, let's say bottled water. Let's say you don't even have an RO system. You're going to your favorite store. You're buying flats of water, which weigh a ton, which I don't like carrying. I don't think anybody does. It's the most annoying thing, is carrying a flat of water, right?
Right.
They're heavy, they're awkward. So you're getting, with our system, you're going to go out and buy yourself a stainless steel tumbler. Get your ice made up. If you don't have it hooked up to your refrigerator, go get those plastic ice trays that you can buy for $1 at one of these stores. Fill them up. You're going to put ice cubes in there. Fill it up with your water, and that's what you're going to drink the rest of the day. That's what you're going to have. And now you're basically the most healthiest product you can put in your body, right? But here's what it's going to do to your women. So you drink. You know what a prune looks like?
Yep.
As a prune dries out, what does it do? It gets lines in it. As you drink bottled water, dead water, your face gets lines in it. You're not hydrated. When you drink our water, you're drinking mineralized water, okay? You get hydrated. What happens? Things go away.
Yep.
Okay. Now, guys, here's the cool thing for guys, okay? So you start getting older. You start going to the bathroom at night more and more and more. When you drink our water, the oxygen goes into your prostate and shrinks it. When you shrink your prostate, you don't get up and go to the bathroom anymore.
Good night's sleep.
All night sleep. So those are the little things that this product does. Psoriasis. I got wellness companies around the world buying our product and giving it to their customers or their patients, whatever you want to call them. And they're saying, I'm like, why are you doing that? What's the, I didn't know if they got it or not, right?
Yeah.
They're like, psoriasis is gone. Skin psoriasis. What? I go, what? They go, oh, yeah. And I had a buddy who told me that, and I didn't believe him. I didn't believe the guy, right? I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever, maybe you had a good day and your nerves weren't acting up and it didn't, this stuff, and I think it has to do with part of the fact that you're hydrated. Okay. When you're hydrated, it's a totally different world, man. I mean, you don't look as old, you don't feel as old. Here in Arizona, the biggest thing we have is being hydrated.
Yeah. So
everybody drinks Gatorade, sugar, everybody drinks that kind of stuff. Now, the other thing I didn't tell you, this is the part that you're going to be really, this is the crazy part. So we all know that alkaline water is the thing to drink. We all know it, but who wants to spend the money, right? So I have a friend, Roger Stone. You've heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Roger has a family member who, had cancer. And Roger was buying oxygenated water from someplace, I believe it was in Colorado. He was spending a lot of money on it. And I sent him a system. And he started, the way Roger looks at things, the way I do practically, gets a gram scale out and weighs the water, a gallon of this, or a cup of one water and our water, and they weighed identical. That means, and then he weighed his water in Florida, and the water in Florida is much heavier. So what he came up with was we had the same amount of oxygen in both glasses, right? So he started giving his friend our water, and the difference in cost was the water he was buying was in the hundreds of dollars a gallon. Our water, when you start producing our water through our system, it will cost you approximately, depending on the cost of your local water, 0.00007 of a penny per gallon.
Wow.
Now, here's something that nobody else does. No one else does. Are you guys familiar with pH water at all? You go to Costco,
Mm-hmm.
buy it. You go to your local water store, they hit electricity, and that's how they create pH water. Costco will tell you on the bottle, read in fine print, really small print, 7 days after this water, it goes into this bottle, it is back to normal.
Oh.
7 days. That's all they can keep it. 7, not 10 days, not 8 days. So you go to your water store, ask them how long that water lasts, and they'll tell you 7 days. Our water, when you change it, when it goes through our system, we're not doing electricity. We're not doing the Kingdom rule way of doing things. We do it the way God gave you water 2,000-3,000 years ago. This water has minerals in it. Minerals is what changes pH. My water goes to 9+ and stays there forever. I got 2 years old, and I hit it with my pH gun, still at 9.0.
That's incredible.
That's the difference, guys. So getting back to basics when it comes to water, and I'm going to tell you, I hate to say this, but if you tank the water, you control everything. You control people's health. You control everything down the road. Animals, it just goes on and on and on. Water is the main thing that you can only live 3 days without water.
Yeah.
So you do the math, right? This product here, guys, you're getting them for free. East Palestine, it'll remove toxins above and beyond. It's going to remove toxins above and beyond vinyl chloride. Vinyl chloride was just the main focus because of what happened to you guys, but it will do everything else you need to keep your family, yourself healthy.
Nelson Mcilveen is Sentry, H2O.com, and they're coming in. They're helping us October 26th at Athletics, right where YSN is. You can't miss it, off of State Route 7. Nelson's going to be there. Your lovely wife, as I understand, is going to be there as well. A lot more people going to be there, just making sure that that people remember East Palestine and understand that there's a better way to have their water, even if it is a catastrophic failure of what we've seen of our government trying to do what they're supposed to do. My friend, any final thoughts? Actually, one more question for you, if we can get real fast. Being that this is a sports show, and that there are so many people, parents, student athletes that are watching this right now, if they were to take advantage of one
Oh,
of your systems, what do you think the advantage would be for
okay.
them?
I'm glad you asked. If you come out to Phoenix and you go to the Sun Stadium, you've heard of those guys?
Oh, yeah.
We control all the water inside that stadium. So what's going to happen is, guys, so instead of your kids drinking sugar to get hydrated, okay, like all the sports drinks, you drink this water, they're going to get hydrated. No leg. Oh, I didn't even tell you this. No leg cramps anymore. You know how you get those leg cramps in the middle of the night and whatnot? Gone. So if you drink this water and you're in sports, you're hydrated. Hydration is everything. Hydration means you can perform at a higher peak. All this matters, okay? So what I'm telling you is this water will change your performance level. We don't quantify it. We can't say, any numbers towards it. But at the end of the day, hydration matters in everybody's, psyche. So you drink the water, your hydration's up, your performance level is up across the board. And anything you do, any age you are, it doesn't matter. But in the sports world, it's critical. I mean, it's not even a maybe. I used to race motocross. We had to be hydrated, man, or you get out on the track and your arms would cramp up, your legs would cramp up, you'd be done. Hydration. This is it.
Love it. Nelson, thank you so much for taking time for us today. We're grateful not only for you taking the last 30 minutes, but for what you've done the last year, 8 months, and what you're going to do moving forward, helping not just the people of East Palestine, people of this region, student athletes as well, getting hydrated better. Because I think at the end of all things, hydration is very, very key. Thank you so much.
Real quick, DJ.
Sure.
Anyone in the state of Ohio and Pennsylvania wants one of our systems, we got a 15% discount just for those people because they need it. Okay, hey. So let them know that that's a big deal, and it'll help them live a healthier life. That's all we can ask for, right?
You're an American hero, buddy. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you, DJ, for your time. I appreciate it.
You got it, Nelson. Thank you so much. We'll be right back right after this.